Hello everyone, welcome to Nira Techies. In this video, I am going to explain .NET Core MVC CRUD operations using the Ajax call with Entity Framework database first approach. And also I am going to explain how we can use the Bootstrap model popup in the .NET Core. At the end, I am going to explain how we can execute any store procedure in .NET Core Entity Framework. So part of this video, I split it into three parts. First one is .NET Core C# section, and the second one is HTML and Bootstrap design. The final one is jQuery validations and functions making. At the end, we can have the final demo. That's what my plan. So let me create the application first. So this is the Visual Studio 2019 new. Here I'm choosing ASP.NET Core Model View Controller, and the target framework is .NET Core 3.1. So let me create the application. So it will take some time to create the project. So look like our project generated. So let me rebuild the application. Okay, rebuild all succeeded. Next I'm going to add the entity framework. For handling the database repository, I am going to create the new project. It's a class library project. So the new project. So template is class library. And the name is repository layer. So this one also target framework .NET Core 3.1. So look like our repository application is created. Okay, in the startup project it's added. Now I'm going to add the entity framework. Before adding the entity framework, I need to install some packages. So right click and manage NuGet packages. In the browse side, just search entity framework. If you search here, the first package, Microsoft Entity Framework Core, and this SQL Server and the design, the final one is tools. These four packages we need to install. So let me install one by one. So first let me take this Entity Framework Core. So the latest version is 6.02, but our application is 3.1. So let me take this 3.1, that's enough. So one package installed. Let me install this SQL Server. So we have completed the second package. Next I'm going to install this design. Okay, the final one is tools. So the package installation gets completed. So one package actually we need to install in our startup project also, the design package. Now we have added all required packages. Now let me generate the model. So for that, I'm coming to the tools, NuGet package manager console. Okay. So defaultly the startup project is loaded, but we have the separate project for the database related things. So I am choosing this repository layer. Here I am going to execute the scaffold command. So if you see here, here I am passing the connection string. After that, the provider SQL server. Finally, I am mentioning the model folder and the data annotation, all the things I have mentioned. This F is not required. So this is the initial stage. Okay, if you see here, the model is generated in the repository layer project. Okay, this is our DB context. So if you see here, the connection string, whatever the connection string we have provided in the scaffold command, it gets added here. But this is not the correct way. Already I mentioned in my previous videos. We need to move everything in the app settings.json file. So now this is the separate project. Here we don't have any app settings. but in the startup project we have the app settings. We can add in the startup project after that we can inject to this project. So let me explain everything in the detail. First, let me complete this repository layer. Here I am going to add a new folder. This is for the project. So I am going to give the name as master. So we are going to generate this CRUD operation for employee table. So I am going to create the class with employee name. So in this class only we are going to write our initial logics. Okay, defaultly it's master. We can change this into a model and make sure it should be a public. And here we can create one constructor. Through the constructor we can inject our DB context. So now I am going to assign the value for context. So this is all about we have done. So now we can generate the functions for CRUD operations. The first one is getAll method. So first one is table employee getAll. So it's not required any parameters. So it returning the list of data from the table of table employee. So we need to use the toList. So let me include the namespace system.linkQ. Okay, great. Now we have completed one function. Similar way we can complete for another operations. So the next one is get by code. So it requires one input. The input is integer only. So hereafter it will return only single object, not a list. So instead of list, I am going to use first or default. Okay, this get by code also done. Now let me create for remove. Here I am going to return one string only if it's pass or fail. So let me declare the string here. So default value is empty. After our completing our logic, we can assign some values. Okay, now there is no error. Here I am checking this employee not equal to null. That means we have the record and we need to remove it. For removing any record, we can use table employee dot remove. Inside that we can pass the object. At the end we have to include the save changes and we need to assign value for the result parameter, result equal to pass. Okay, now we have done for the remove. Final one is save. The save include insert and update. The save, basically the input is table employee only. So the procedure is same. First I am going to check whether we already have a value or not. If value is there, I need to update. So let me include the code. So the code actually we are not going to update. Other fields we are going to update. So let me include name first. The same way we have three more fields. So the second one is email and the third one is phone. The final one is destination. So now we have completed for any update operation. So in case it's a new record, so here also we not required to mention this code because the code is auto generated one. So now I added this name. Similar way I can include three fields also. And fourth one is destination. Okay, now we have the object. So based on that we can complete the insert operation. So let me use this context once again. Dot table employee. Here I'm going to use this add keyword. Inside that I'm going to pass this table. At the end we need to save and return as fast. So if required we can use this try catch also. And in the catch part. So in the real time in the catch side, we can call any exception method. We can capture the exception log. Okay, that's it. We have completed from our data access layer side. So let me come to our startup project. In the startup project, we have only defaultly created controller, the home controller we have. The same way I'm going to create my controller. So my controller name is employee. So the controller gets generated. Let me create the view also. So I'm going to choose this razor view. So here this layout is required. This is not an partial view. So index name is, sorry, the view name is index. That also fine. So look like the view is generated. Now I'm going to complete the changes in controller side. So we have to complete all CRUD operation related functionalities. So let me create one by one. First one is for get all method. Let me include the table. Okay, I need to include this namespace here using repository layer dot models. Okay, great. So here our object is table employee list new employee DA. Here the method is get all method. Okay, at the end we can return. So this is returning the JSON result. So for returning the JSON result we have the JSON option. So we can pass it like this. But still our employee DA is showing error because yes, it's expecting this land DBA context. So here also I am going to create one constructor and let me declare this land DB private read only and land db context. So this is the context, and here I need to pass it. Okay, great. This change is done. So let me pass this db context here. So the functionality gets completed. So the very important thing, we are not yet added this land db context in our services, and also we not included our connection string in our app settings. So we can complete these things first. If you go here, the app settings.json, first we need to include this connection string. Here you can create your own connection string. After that, you have to mention your connection string. Let me include my connection string here. Okay, the app settings.json side changes are completed. So let me close this one, and I'm moving to the startup page. So if you see in the services, as of now, there is no changes. I'm going to include my db context. Add db context. So the land db. So the namespace is not included as of now. So let me include first. So it belongs to repository layer.modals. Okay, fine. So use SQL Server. So basically it belongs to the namespace Microsoft Entity Framework.core. Okay, let me try now. Yes, use SQL Server. Here we need to pass the connection string. So the connection string available in the configuration dot get connection string, and our connection string name is, okay, actually it's we mentioned in our app settings. Okay, const string. So the name whatever we mentioned, we just need to include here also. So this is done. Okay. Now in the controller side, we have completed for this getAll method. The same way we can complete for other functionalities also. So the next one is get by code. So get by code. Initially the code is string only. So we can convert it through the Ajax call. Everything comes in the string format mostly. Get by code. So in the real time, we need to verify whether the value is coming or not. Believing myself, I am not going to check any condition. I am directly going to add everything. Okay, this is done. This get by code. So we can move on the remove. So the remove also procedure is same. Here it's returning the string only. So method name is remove. Okay, we have done for the remove. Let me move on the final one. Save. Save, we have the object table employee. So table employee. So here our method name is save. So whatever value is coming, we can just to pass it here. There is no additional logics are required. So we have done our changes. Let me create one more file. So we created one view for employee, But as I mentioned, for the add screen, I am going to have the Bootstrap model pop-up. So for the particular pop-up, I am going to have one partial view. So let me create in the shared folder. I'm having one folder name is master. So inside the master, I'm going to create one partial view. So it's not required the layout page, and I'm choosing this. This is a partial view. My partial view name is employee. So I'm include this underscore symbol also. This is not a mandatory. Basically, if you are creating any partial view, we supposed to give this underscore for identifying this is the partial view. Okay, the partial view also created, and so in the layout page only all the menus are coming. If you see here, so the home and the privacy was there. Instead of the privacy, so we have the employee menu, so we can include. So in ASP controller name also employee. Our default action method is index. Okay, these are all the basic changes. As I mentioned, so I split it into three parts. First one is .NET Core with the C Sharp. So this first part we completed. Let me run the application. After that we can continue with an HTML and Bootstrap design. So the page is loaded. If you see here, this employee menu was there. If I am clicking here, so there is no data, just index is showing. Hereafter we can include our changes. So the first page is our index page. So whatever content is there, we can remove and we can include our own design. So in the .NET Core application, if you are using the version 3.1, the default template, we have the Bootstrap and everything. We are not required to include the Bootstrap manually. It's already installed. So we can use the existing thing. So first I'm going to use this div. If you are good with the designing part, you can use your own way. So this part I am splitting into two parts. The first side I am having my add button. So I am just using the anchor tag. So the href is hash. And I'm going to include the class. The basic class is button and button primary. This is all about button. And this div I'm going to have the table. So we all know the HTML basic things. In the table we have the T head and T body. So this T body section we are going to generate dynamically. In the header part we are going to give our static data. The first one is code. The last one is action. Action is for delete and edit. Okay, we just added our table. So if I'm refreshing, okay, actually we have done our changes in the HTML part. Basically in the MVC application, if you are saved and refreshing, the changes will be reflected in our screen. But in the .NET Core, basically it's not happened. If required, we have to do some changes. Actually, we need to install this Racer Runtime Compilation. So let me do that changes also, because otherwise we have to run the application for every time. So in the dependency side, let me go to the NuGet package. So runtime compilation. So the first one is Microsoft ASP.NET Core.MVC Racer.Runtime compilation. So we need to install the version 3.1. So look like our package get installed. So we need to include the things in our services side also. So in the services side, we have to include this add Racer runtime compilation. So this is the thing we have to include. Now let me run the application. Hereafter we can make our changes and we can just refresh in the browser, we can see our changes. So if you see here, the initial page, the button was there. The next one is our table. So I am going to add on break. Otherwise, the screen is not good. Okay, it's fine. The next thing is when I clicking this add new button, so the model pop-up should open, and in the model pop-up, we should have in our all the fields. So now I'm going to create the Bootstrap model pop-up. For that, let me search in the Bootstrap model. So in the first link, the model Bootstrap link. So if you see the Bootstrap documentation, they have provided a number of controls and pop-up related things. You just come to this live demo and click here. One sample model pop-up is loaded. In the bottom, they have provided the complete HTML. You just copy the whole complete HTML and come to our code. So I already created one partial view. So in the master, okay, just add here. In our actual index view, just to make the reference of our partial view. So the partial view available in the shared master folder, and our partial view name is employee. Okay. So let me run the application once again. So I think it's in running mode. We can refresh it. Okay, now if you see here, the launch demo model was there. The new button is coming. So if I'm clicking here, one new pop-up also coming. So in the particular place, if you see the three dots, here only I'm going to add my design related changes. And I'm going to change this model into add bar edit. In the model body, I am going to have the class, and another one is LG9. So my first input is for the code, text code, and the class name is form control. Okay, if I clicking here, see the code and respected field also there. The same way I am going to add all the fields. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Okay, the first field is text code. Basically, this field is disabled one because we are generating the code dynamically. So the next field is name. So I'm going to change the name is text name, and the third one is email. Let me mark this text email, and fourth one is phone. Here also I'm going to change this your phone. The final one is destination. So basically this field is the select field. So the class is common. So the same form control. Okay, see here. So look like this model pop is looks fine. So there are 5 fields, and the destination we actually need to load the data. Okay. So this is all about our design part. Let me move on this jQuery validations and function making. So this is our final part. Okay, and also the one more thing, this launch demo model button. When I clicking this button only, it's showing the pop-up. Basically, it should show when I clicking this add new. That changes also we can manage through our jQuery. For adding the jQuery, we already have the jQuery, but maybe it's not a latest version. So I am going to include on jQuery file. So in the jQuery.com, if you go there, so on the download side, they have provided the URL. Okay, we can use this one. So let me come to our application. So this is our partial view, it's not required. We can include in our main view itself. So script, and the script type is text and JavaScript. So it have one more source. In the source we can mention this URL, that's it. Okay. Same way. So here I am going to write for document.ready.function. So this method will call in the initial load. If you have some knowledge about jQuery, it's fine. Otherwise, just to go through the jQuery related topics, then only we'll get some better idea. Let me give one alert whether this function is calling or not. That means our jQuery is working or not. I need to verify. Okay, the alert is coming, so that means our jQuery part is working fine. So let me implement all the functions one by one. First, let me start from our add new. So here the function is create new. Okay, let me create one function is create new. And also one more function clear all. So in the clear all, I am going to clear all the fields because this one also required. I will explain why. So this is the first field. The same way I am going to clear for all the fields. So the second one is text name, and the third one is email, and the fourth one is phone. So the final one is DDL destination. I think I have provided like that only. So let me check. Okay, in the select I am not added the ID. So let me add DDL destination. Okay, that's fine. And the one more thing. So in the model popup, what actually my model popup name is example model. I am going to change this into employee model. If I change in here, the data target also I need to change. I'm going to give an ID button model. Okay, great. Finally, I am going to give display none. In the JavaScript side, on the create new method, I am going to trigger this click functionality. Let me trigger click. So whenever I am trying to create a new record, I need to clear all the fields. That also the mandatory thing. Now I am refresh the screen. There is no new button. Only the add new was there. If I'm clicking the add new, so our actual pop-up is loaded. Okay. Now we can write the functionality for save changes, and also we can include the validations. Before that, I need to load this destination. It's very important one. I think we not done anything for the destination. Even from the code side, we have to do the changes. It's not taking much time. We can complete shortly. Get all destination. Okay, this is table destination. Okay, this is done. So in the same way, the controller also we can include the same method. Okay, this is done. The functionality side we have completed. Let me create the JavaScript function for loading the data into the select control. So here we are going to have this Ajax call. So the Ajax call first parameter is type is first, and the next one is URL. This is also very important one. So the URL is get all destination. So it's available in the controller employee. Okay, it's not required any data. So in the data, I am going to have the empty data. Next one is success, and the final one is error. In the success, we have the data. So once the data is coming, we have to verify whether it's null or not. So not equal to null means we can take it. Basically, this is the collection of data. The initial loading time, if there is any record, I need to remove it. Basically, in the select control, we have the option, so I need to remove first. Okay, once it's added, I need to add the default value. So for adding the default value, we can use this append keyword. So option, okay, here I can give the select and the default value is empty. Okay, now once we have the data, we can create the for each using this dot each. So it will return key and value pair. Okay, that's it. So here we can generate our dynamic options. So the value, the first one is code. Here we have the name. That's it. So okay, we can verify now. So if I clicking here, see the destination, all the records are loaded. Basically, these data are coming from the database only. Okay, this is fine. So now I am going to add the functionality for save and also for the validations. So in the save button actually coming from this pop-up only. So instead of having the button, I am going to change this into the anchor tag. Okay, fine. So in the save, I am going to write on click return false. Now I'm going to write the function for save. Okay, let me write here. So already we have the function for clear all. So some problem is happening. That's what the format is not in the proper way. So anyway, this is not the main issue. So we can continue our functionality. So first I'm going to get all the values from the fields. Here I'm getting the value for code. The same way I can get all the controls. So this one for name, and the third one is email. Fourth one is phone. The final one is destination. Now I'm going to add validation for this name. I'm going to check the if the name equal to empty, I am going to change the border color of the text box. For that, I'm going to including the CSS and border color is red. Okay. In case if it's valid scenario, I need to give the color is okay. That's it. And also let me declare one variable. So this field actually for validation. If it's not matched the validation, I can make this is false. Okay, after completing the validation, if is proceed. So here only we need to call the Ajax method for the save functionality. Okay, the Ajax code already was there. The same code we can copy. Okay, here our function name is save. This loop and everything is not required. Basically, it's coming as the pass. If the pass is positive scenario, so then we can give the alert is saved successfully. Else we can give just failed. Okay, this is we have done. And the main thing is we need to pass the data. So for this save functionality, we are going to pass the data in object format. So let me create one object first. So, okay, in the object, we can include all the fields. First one is code, so we can include this code. The same way we can include 4 more fields. So next one is name, and that one is phone. Next email. At last destination. Okay, great. So this data we are going to pass as the input. So now we can verify our save method. Okay, the popup is loaded. I'm trying to click this save. So it's showing this red mark. So I am going to give the name is Ravi Sharma and test at gmail.com, phone number, and destination is Angular developer. If I clicked, so it's saying saved successfully. So as of now, we not loaded any data in the listing. So we already have the table. So in the database side, we can see the data. After that, we can load the data in our listing. So in the table employee, if you see the Ravi Sharma, the recent record. So okay, 2 records was there. One is already I'm loaded. So and one more record was there. So let me truncate it everything. Now let me try one new record. So it's saved successfully. Okay, the record was there. So now the add functionality is completed. Now let me load the data into the listing. For loading this listing, I am going to use the external plugin data table. So the data table plugins. So just search in the Google jQuery data table. That's it. The first one is okay. So if you see here, they have provided this CSS and JS. So we can include in our coding also. So let me come to the documentation. Here I'm going to copy these two links. So we are going to add everything in our index page. So in the index page, top of that, I'm going to include the CSS first, and the JS I'm going to add in the bottom. So basically it will create some conflict in our existing jQuery file. So I am going to declare one variable JS with no conflict. jQuery.noConflict. So we can use this one instead of this dollar. Okay, we already loaded for destination. The same way I am going to load for employee also. So now load employee. So these are the things not required, but here we need to require one array, and here is get all. So in the array I am going to push all the values. First one is value.code, the next one is value.name, and the third one is value.email, and the fourth one is value.phone. The final one is value.destination. Okay. At last we have the action, so I am going to add the empty thing. Okay, if you see here, now we have the data in our array. Now let me complete the logic for the data table. So for that I am going to add an ID here. After getting data in our array, so the JS thing we declared the same thing we can use. Dot data table. So it has many features. If required, we can see in some other videos. As of now, I am trying to load the data. That's it. And also destroy. True. Okay, done. Let me call this method in our page load. So if you see here, there is no data are loaded. So, but in the table, actually we have the records. Let me come here. So the method name is getAll. So we can queue asynchronous files. Okay, great. Now the records are loaded, but still if you see in the action side, there is no buttons are added, so we can include that logic also. For that, I am going to declare one button, edit button first. So this is all about the anchor tag, but we are going to generate in the dynamic manner. Okay, first one is, as I mentioned, this is for edit. So any anchor tag basically have the href tag. Okay, this is fine. After adding the href, we have to specify our onClick function. Function edit. Here I'm going to pass this. Okay, at the end we have to specify the class. So first one is button, next one is button primary. The same way I am going to create one more button is for delete. So let me change this one also delete, and our class also danger. At the end we required one hidden field. Hidden, actually the tag is input only. So the whatever key value we have that we can include in our hidden field, finally we can use any function. That is the end plan. HDN code and value equal to so the name is code, that's it. At the end we can include everything in the action. So let me add this hidden, then edit button. After that I am going to have some space. At the end we can have the delete button. Okay, instead of the empty we can include this one. Okay, now see, there are two buttons are coming the same time. One text box also coming, because I am not provided the type is hidden, that's why it's coming. So it will be removed. Okay, great. Now we can write the functionality for edit. Once this edit gets completed, we can come for delete also. So both are look like edit only. So let me change. This one is for delete. Okay. Now I am going to create the new function for edit. So this is the element. First we need to get actual code, then only we can start our edit operation. So var code equal to, so we have the element. The element means we are clicking the button, so we have the button. So we need to find the closest tr. So this is the syntax. Now we are getting the current tr tag. In the tr tag we are finding our id HDN code. Okay, now we have the HDN code. Now we need to get the value from the hidden field, that's it. Okay, now I am having this code. Hereafter I can call the Ajax method, that's it. Okay, here our method name is getByCode. And it has one input code. So let me pass the code. And hereafter now for each we need to just assign the values. So the clear side I just assigned empty value. Here I am going to assign the actual value, that's it. That is the end scenario. there are 5 fields, so many times we used, so it's remembered in my mind. Name and email, and the third one is phone. The final one is destination. Okay, grades all are coming. So let me verify whether it's working or not. Okay, so I'm loaded the data, but I need to open the popup also. For opening the popup, I can use this create new function. So it will clear the existing records and also it will open the popup. After that, we can load the data. That's it. It makes our job a little bit easy. Okay, so see here, the records are loaded. Now I am changing into the Angular developer. Okay, they saved successfully. So if you see here, still it's showing the manager. Okay, now it's changed into a developer. Actually, the developer also the code name. So exact name is Angular developer. So we can load that data also a little later. So meanwhile, I'm going to add one more record. So rubenr18.com, and it's the manager. Okay, basically the record should be loaded whenever I'm creating or saving any record. So I need to call this method for any save operation. Okay, fine. Now I'm trying to edit this manager into technical team lead. Okay, it's updated. If you see here, so the code is actually tester. So that's what it's showing, the tester. So we can change this thing also. So meanwhile, I'm going to implement this delete functionality. So the delete also, it's similar to our edit. So let me copy this edit functionality. After that, we can do our changes. Here our method is to remove. So I just to pass the data. So basically it will come just to pass or not. Okay. So so it's clearly deleted. I just need to load the table. That's it. So before performing this operation, I need to confirm the user. Do you want remove? That's it. If he's saying yes, we can proceed, continue. That's it. Okay, if I'm clicking here, do you want remove? If I'm clicking OK, it's automatically gets deleted. But why it's showing this pop-up? Okay, because I'm included this create new, that's what. Okay, this is removed, that's fine. So now look like we have completed all the functionalities. We can have one quick demo. So when I'm clicking this add new button, the pop-up is loaded. There is no data as of now. If I'm clicking here, this we added validation is for only the name field. Now I'm going to include the fields Rishabh Pant and rb18.com, and the phone number is something, we are giving some phone number, and his role is Angular developer, and I'm trying to save the record. So we are giving one smart alert message only. So automatically the record are populated in our listing. If I'm closing this pop-up, and if you see here, developer is loaded. If I'm trying to edit, I can change any value. So instead of 4, I'm going to give this 5. After updating, if you see, so automatically it's updated here. Even for any save operation, if you want close this pop-up also, we can achieve. For that, we have the class is called close. Here, so here only we completed our save functionality. Once we completed our save, so we can trigger, click, that's it. So let me verify now. Okay, edited. If I'm clicking OK, the automatically pop-up also gets closed. So this is what we have implemented. So as I mentioned in this video, I am going to explain how we can call any store procedure in the .NET Core Entity Framework. So if you are using the previous version, .NET Framework means whenever we are adding any store procedure, it will generate the model file. But in the .NET Core, we don't have the option. So we have to generate our models in the one way. After that, we can execute our store procedure, providing the store procedure name. So let me explain that also. I am already have one what is called the store procedure. Is p underscore depends. Okay, fine. So this is my store procedure name. So yeah, so this is nothing but basically it will return the data from our table only. So instead of returning actual destination code, it will return the destination name. That is the only thing we changed. So let me load the listing data from this store procedure. Okay. For that, I am coming to the our database side, code side. So in the getAll method, we are directly loaded the data. So instead of that, I am going to use one method. First, I am going to include one namespace Microsoft Entity Framework.core. Okay, great. So after that, list table employee list equal to context dot table employee from SQL row. Here we need to execute our store procedure. At last, we need to give two lists. So this function basically execute the store procedure. So already we mentioned table implies the model. So based on that, it will return the data. That is what our end object. So let me return this one. So we can run our application and verify how actually it's coming. Okay, if you see here, now the destination is technical team lead and the Angular developer name is coming. If I'm trying to edit, I'm trying to change, this is the manager. Okay, it's updated into manager. Now I'm going to change, this is the Angular developer. So the actual name is coming because the data are now coming from our store procedure. That's it. So in this way, we can run any store procedure, or else we have one more option. If you are not returning any value, you want just execute on store procedure, like doing some insert kind of operations means. Uh, we have the option. I am just explaining. If required, you have to use. That's it. So context dot database dot execute SQL command. Okay. Using this query, you can give any command also. Otherwise, even the store procedure also, you can pass in the string format. It will execute and it will return the data. So this is all about using store procedure in .NET Core and Entity Framework. And also we have completed our CRUD operations using this Ajax call. Still, if you have any doubts or clarifications, please post in our comment box. And also please don't forget to subscribe my channel. If you like this video, like and share to your friends. Thank you. Thanks for watching.